What's going on, everybody? It's your man Chris Thorns, and as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you watch my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a story here I wanted to share with you, which happened down here in my hometown. Spencer tagged me in this story on Facebook a few days ago, but I'm just not having a chance to really look into it to see what is going on. And yet here we are again, 2019. Again, seemed like it was the year of the attack of the children, and look like 2020. Like we probably finna see the same thing, at least this story alone. It seems like we finna have the same year, but I hope not. But it seems like this is what is going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the man that you see right here, his name is Jarrod Wright. I repeat, his name is Jarrod Wright. Jarrod Wright right now is locked up. And he is locked up because he's been accused of child abuse of his 2-year-old son. Now, here's the kicker to this story. This man allegedly has been reported to Child Protective Services a total of 10 times. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 10 times. And they say DCFS didn't do not a thing. But don't let me tell you the story. Let me let y'all listen to it yourself. So let's go to the other newsroom and let's have a listen.
Uncovers questions surrounding the murder of a 2-year-old boy. Thanks for joining me. I'm Katina Rankin. My co-anchor Richard is off. I'm talking about JAKOBE Chaffin. He died Christmas Eve. His father is in jail charged with his murder. The child's relatives are pointing fingers at the state of Tennessee, saying it dropped the ball by not getting the child out of the house when abuse reports had been filed. Local Live Team senior investigator Jenny DePrizio has been digging for answers all day, and she joins us in the studio with what she's learned. Jenny.
Yeah, the child's uncle says he personally called the Department of Children's Services 10 times to report abuse, twice when they lived in Georgia and 8 times when they moved to Tennessee, but nothing was ever done to remove the child from his parents.
He was an amazing kid, big personality. I mean, he just lit up the room in any room he entered.
Corey Hayes says his 2-year-old nephew, JAKOBE Chaffin, would still be alive today if state caseworkers would have done their jobs.
The system definitely failed JAKOBE. Like I said, there were multiple cases, detailed cases. I mean, very detailed.
Chaffin's father, Jarrod Wright, is charged with his son's murder. Blunt force to the stomach is listed as the cause in court paperwork. Hayes says the state dropped the ball by not doing enough to investigate the reports of abuse. He says one of the issues.
His case sat for months on an empty desk. For someone that no longer works with the agency is what I found out.
Hayes says Chaffin's 2 younger siblings were finally taken into state custody after his death on Christmas Eve.
She has a 1-year-old that had fractured ribs where he had been beating him, and the 1-month-old had fractured ribs where he threw her into a wall.
Hayes says nothing will bring his nephew back, but says he plans to take whatever action is necessary to prevent this from happening to another child. The state has not commented on the family's claims. Wright is in jail without bond. He has a court hearing next week. For the Local Live Team, I'm Jenny DePrizio.
Jesus. Wow. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can stop this for play something else. Looks like it's not going to let me stop it. So I'm going to catch it right on the money before they start playing something else.
I'm John Bryant. Here is.
All right, guys. I don't even know where to even.
I'm John Bryant. Here is
Jesus
a look
Christ.
at overnight lows across.
I don't know. Man, where do you even start with this? I heard what the brother just said right there. The other siblings finally got taken away, but before that, one of the children he threw against the wall. What the hell? Shit. Um Again, man, I want y'all to understand, when I do my shows, I try my best to be on your side. And for the most part, I am on your side. I'm not necessarily just saying it to say that I'm against the women, I mean, if women is doing right, I'm on a side as well. But again, man, I cannot, co-sign this shit. You understand? Now, a lot of you may want to blame the mother and say the mother probably knew the Negro was like this and that, and she still got pregnant by him and this, that, and the third. And, in some instances, I'm sorry, something just caught my attention. In some instances, I do agree with that theory, but we can't just say that's the case on this one because it's still fresh. This story is 4 days old. But I want y'all to understand something. I've been covering the Rika Roundtree case, and shout out to everybody who's covering that case. But I think I'm the only one that's pretty much kind of covering on the basis that I am covering. But I could be wrong. And we have the same scenario damn near, according to this story. With Rika's case, the biological father dating a white woman, and the white woman was abusing his child. Now they're saying that Richard was, which is Rika's dad, saying that he's the one that was helping the woman doing it. He was abusing the child as well. I don't know, they're just hearsay, far as I know, but nothing in the news saying that he played a part in abusing her too. But you might as well say he did, because if you living with this woman, whatever the case may be, then damn, you just as much guilty to me as the woman who did this to your child, because man, you did nothing to protect your child. And of course, Antoinetta, the mom, she couldn't do nothing because she was locked up. And Antoinetta said, hey, I fucked up too. I failed my child too. But regardless of who all failed this child, these children don't deserve to get what they get. Amen. And this happened on Christmas Eve, if I'm not mistaken. So you mean to tell me a 2-year-old didn't get a chance to enjoy a third Christmas because you got a piece of shit ass father, allegedly, who abused the boy and been reported, and the system does nothing. But y'all remember the show that I did with Antoinetta, Rika mom? She reported to Child Protective Service, and they didn't do anything. But now that the children is gone, now when a child is gone, now they want to come and get the other children. But just like Denise Williams says, too much, too little, too late. If y'all came when the call was initially made, a lot of these children's life could have been saved. Amen. But here we are again. Child Protective Service call, nothing been done. But like I told Antoinetta, the last interview, you haven't seen the last interview, go check it out. It was good. It was real good. You got people who call Child Protective Services and make false accusations. And CPS be right on it, taking your child away until they find nothing has been found, then give your child back, versus when somebody is calling and reporting and say, hey, I'm seeing this, blah, 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 and ain't shit being done. I don't know how it works. I don't have any children, so I'm ignorant to all of this. But just hearing this shit, period. Why was nothing been done and 10 times been reported? Shit, man. But anyway, let me switch all over. Let's go full screen. And let me read what it says on here. Excuse me. This was posted on January the 2nd, and it was updated on January the 3rd. And it reads as follows. Memphis, Tennessee, that's my hometown. It said family members of a 2-year-old boy are pointing fingers at the state of Tennessee, saying not enough was done to protect the child. A 19-year-old, this man is 19 years old and doing this shit. 19 years old. And you committing heinous crimes like this. This is crazy. You committing heinous crimes like this and against children. But that's why I believe when people say, in this society now, you having babies, raising babies, and it just don't work. It just don't work. 19-year-old Jarrod Wright is charged with first-degree murder and perpetration of aggravated child neglect, first-degree murder and perpetration of aggravated child abuse, and aggravated child neglect. And of course, there he go right there. We have another clip right there, but I'll get to that in a minute. And it says, according to the police affidavit, 2-year-old JAKOBE, CHAFFIN, if I said that right, was taken to Lebanon the afternoon of December the 23rd. Okay, this happened. Okay, he was taken to the hospital on 23rd with several abdominal injury. The doctor said the injury was caused by blunt force trauma to the toddler's stomach. A social worker called police and investigators interviewed Wright. According to the affidavit, Wright admitted he would discipline the boy by making him lie on the bed with his feet on the floor. Back up, he said he would sit on the boy's back. Oh, Jesus Christ. He would sit on the boy's back and hit him in the buttocks with his shoe. He sit on his back and hit him on the butt with his shoe. According to the report, Wright said when the boy squirmed, he would put more weight on. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. He would put more weight on his back, and that may have pushed his body into the metal bed frame, according to the report. Wright admitted to doing this 3 or 4 times in the week leading up to the trip to Lebanon. The boy died early the morning of Christmas Eve. That is sad. Family members told the local I-team they filed a breach, but nothing was ever done. The uncle of the child said he personally called the Department of Children's Services 10 times, twice in Georgia, where the family first lived, plus 8 times down here in Tennessee after the child and his parents moved to Memphis. He said nothing was ever done. They go to the young man right there, a handsome young man. Then it goes on to say, it said, the system definitely let us down. The system definitely failed. JAKOBE said Corey Hayes via Facebook Messenger interview. I filed a total of 10 cases because each time I filed the case will automatically get closed. Wow. So I was wondering, how would they close the case when they haven't even seen the children, said Hayes. Good question. CHAFFIN said one caseworker told him that at one point someone went to the house, but no one would answer. In another instance, Hayes said he was told his case sat for months on the empty desk for someone no longer works for the agency, is what I found out. He was a beautiful kid. He had a lot of things to do on this earth, and his life was cut short by his father. That hurt, said Hayes. Okay, they talk about the funeral. This was posted on January the 2nd. Hayes said he plans to do whatever he can to hold the state accountable. The ball was dropped multiple times in this situation. I just hope they do something internally to fix this. So where this doesn't happen ever again. I wouldn't wish this feeling on anyone, said Hayes. Hayes said 2 younger children were taken into state custody after the 2-year-old's death. He said both had injuries from abuse. Even the other children had abuse. Wow. The child's funeral is Friday, which I'm assuming it was last Friday. No bond has been set, and Wright is due in court on the 8th, which is 2 days from now. The local I team has asked the Department of Children's Services about the family claims that their abuse reports went unanswered. They say they received the following statement. The death of a child is heartbreaking and tragic, and to learn that it may have been at the hands of an adult or even a parent is unthinkable. While state law prohibits us from comments on specific details, even the release of a name, I can confirm that DCS has opened a case into the death of this 2-year-old boy and had opened 2 previous investigations, and in both instances made extensive efforts to try and locate the family. This agency will continue to do everything we can to help police and prosecutors as they work to ensure that justice is served for this child. Jesus. Let's hear what this clip had to say.
Child are pointing fingers at the state of Tennessee, saying not enough was done to protect the child. Good evening and thanks for joining me. I'm Katina Rankin. My co-anchor Richard is off tonight. Jarrod Wright is charged with child abuse and murder after JAKOBE CHAFFIN died on Christmas Eve. Local I-Team senior investigator Jenny DePrizio talked to family members who say they had filed abuse reports, but nothing was ever done. Jenny, what else did they say?
The uncle of the 2-year-old says he personally called the Department of Children's Services 10 times, twice in Georgia where the family first lived, plus the state of Tennessee 8 times after the child and his parents moved to Memphis, and nothing was ever done.
The system definitely let us down. The system definitely failed JAKOBE.
Via a Facebook Messenger interview, Corey Hayes told the local I-Team he's mad. Hayes says he reported to the state his nephew, JAKOBE CHAFFIN, was the victim of child abuse over and over, and nothing was done.
I filed a total of 10 cases because each time I filed a case, the case would automatically get closed. So I was wondering, how are they closing the case and they hadn't even seen the children?
Hayes says one caseworker told him at one point someone went to the house, but no one would answer. He says in another instance,
his case sat for months on an empty desk for someone that no longer works with the agency is what I found out.
19-year-old Jarrod Wright is charged with his son's death. According to court records, blunt force trauma to his stomach caused the death.
He was a beautiful kid. He had a lot of things to do on this earth, and his life was cut short by his father. That hurts.
Hayes says he plans to do whatever he can to hold the state accountable.
The ball was dropped multiple times in this situation. I just hope they do something internally to where they fix this to where this doesn't ever happen again. I wouldn't wish this feeling on anyone.
Now, we asked the state about the family's claims. The state has yet to comment. The child's funeral is tomorrow. For the local I-Team, I'm Jenny DePrizio.
Okay, pretty much they just repeated the first article that I played for y'all. So there's nothing really different about that. So again, my final thoughts on the whole situation, I just don't get it. And now it makes me wonder, where was the mother while all this was going on? Where was she at? Is she still alive? Is she locked up? Or is she deceased? Or did she care? Or did he abuse her? My question is, where is the mother of this child? And while these reports was being made, what necessary steps did she try to take to prevent this from going on? So now I have to question that, well, we as men are always held up to a higher standard. Sometimes I understand it, sometimes I don't. But when it comes to children, the biological people who created us as children, I don't think it's just supposed to be the man be held to a higher standard. It's supposed to be both of them. Preach. Both the mother and the father are supposed to be held at a higher standard. It ain't no one supposed to do more than the other. It ain't one supposed to protect more than the other one. Both parties who played a part in creating a child have equal responsibility. But we all know how this works a lot of times. With a lot of women, where everything is good, it's our child. But when things is going when things don't go the way they don't want to go, how many of y'all heard this? They say it's their child. It's not our child anymore. It's their child. Well, I say to you ladies, regardless of how you feel about the man, no, regardless of how he fucked up, the fact of the matter is that is still y'all child. And you got some men, I'd have heard it, where things ain't going their way. My child, my child, my child. Well, I say this to you men. I don't care how much the woman fucks up. I don't care if she with somebody else and y'all not together. At the end of the day, this is our child. Not yours, not mine, ours. Okay? Because if it's our child with things going good, then hell, don't nothing change with things go bad. Preach. And we have to get out that mindset. Now, I don't have the truth. I just say we. I don't know why I say we, but I just say that we, in general, period, have to get out that mindset. And a lot of us need to grow up. This man is 19 years old and pretty much probably done fucked his whole life up just by this one thing he just did. And not only that, he abused, seemed like for what we read, every last child that was in his presence. I don't know what's going on with this dude or what vendetta he has against the mother or maybe vendetta he has against the world. I have no idea. But for what you done to that child and these other children, you taking out your frustration on the wrong people. And now you done fucked your life up. You done fucked your life up. This is crazy. And I want to say I hope 2020 not going to be like 2019, but looking at it, listen to the story, like we're finna have another 2019 Attack of the Children. And it's in my hometown. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This is your man, Chris Thorns. As always, share your thoughts about this story. Let me know what you think. And if you like me, you know, I just want to know where the mother is in this one. Where is she? You know, is she still alive or locked up or whatever? You know, I want to know, where is she? It's your man, Chris Thorns. Catch you next time. Peace.